Samsung recently released in the Philippines the Galaxy A6 and A6 Plus mid-range smartphones. What we're looking at today is the one you've been waiting for, the Galaxy A6 Plus. Hi guys, this is Louis of Yugatech and here's our review of the Galaxy A6 Plus. The Galaxy A6 Plus is not that different from its smaller sibling, the Galaxy A6. It's got an added secondary rear camera and a bigger frame. But it doesn't mean that it's heavy. It's actually lightweight and relatively slim, making it easier to hold. It feels solid and well built, although the finish makes it quite slippery in the hands. So if you're clumsy, better buy a case for protection and better grip. This is not exactly a cheap phone, so make sure it's protected against accidental bumps and drops. Button placements are all in the right place, except for one thing, the speaker. Instead of having it at the bottom or at the back, Samsung decided to place it on the right side. It's oddly placed, but we found that it's actually pretty convenient when we're playing games in landscape position as our fingers don't block the speaker. We also get two separate SIM slots, one for the SIM1 card and the other for the SIM2 and micro SD cards. This is good for those who swap cards frequently. Since it has a huge form factor, those with small hands might have a hard time reaching for the fingerprint scanner. When it comes to ports, the Galaxy A6 Plus uses a micro USB interface, which is okay, but it would have been nicer if it had USB Type-C. This phone has a 6-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display with 18.5:9 aspect ratio. From our experience like watching movies, playing games, viewing photos, the display is vivid, has punchy colors, deep contrast, and good viewing angles. We had no problems taking it outdoors as we can still read messages and navigate the interface easily. When it comes to audio, this phone has a Dolby Atmos feature. Inside settings, there's an equalizer where you can adjust the bass or treble, or the instrument and vocals. There's also a UHD upscaler, Tube Amp Pro, Concert Hall, and Adapt Sound feature. Some of the effects can only be used with the headphones. Overall quality is good, highs and mids are great, and lows are a bit present although lacking. It can also reach high volumes without much distortion or loss in clarity. This phone is equipped with a dual rear camera setup consisting of a 16 megapixel and 5 megapixel sensor. There's also a 24 megapixel camera for selfies. It has plenty of features like Pro Mode, Panorama, Continuous Shot, Night, Sports, Live Focus, set of filters, beautification, and Bixby Vision. The front, on the other hand, has a single selfie, wide selfie, sound and shot, selfie focus, beautification, and Bixby Vision as well. Rear shots are quite impressive in the right conditions. Daylight images have enough detail, colors, and sharpness. The color reproduction and accuracy are also on point, and the exposure is well maintained. However, when we're shooting at night, grain and noise start to become visible. Although if there's enough ambient lighting, the quality is actually quite okay. As for the front camera, selfies are clear, have good detail, color reproduction, and accuracy. We tested some selfies at night, and the images are actually okay, but like the rear cameras, they work best if there's enough ambient light. For videos, it shoots at 1080p resolution at 30 FPS in MP4 format. Quality is just average with enough details, though colors are a bit washed out. The autofocus is also not as fast as we want it to be, and often requires us to tap on the screen so it focuses on the right subject. The device runs on Android 8.0 Oreo with Samsung's Experience UI version 9, which is also the operating system found on Samsung's more prominent flagships. It's clean, fluid, and easy to use. We get some cool features like one-hand operation, game management, multi-window, pop-up window, always-on display, and Bixby. The fingerprint scanner also supports gesture control like sliding down to reveal the notifications panel. Pre-installed apps from Google and Microsoft are also present, but some of the apps can be uninstalled except for a few homebrews from Samsung and Microsoft. Out of the 32GB internal storage, there's still 24.2 gigabytes of usable space. The Galaxy A6 Plus is powered by a budget Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 processor paired with 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's not as powerful as the 600 series, but the 450 chipset is not so bad and it's pretty capable. Day-to-day tasks like browsing, running social media apps, and home screen navigation are smooth. We tried running multiple apps in the background like chat apps, a few games, and some productivity tools, and it was able to switch between them easily. When it comes to gaming, light to moderate games like Mobile Legends are easily playable, but it will suffer frame drops for more demanding games like Tekken, Asphalt 8, PUBG Mobile, and Iron Blade, especially during heavy scenes. As for benchmarks, here are the results. Providing power to the device is a 3500 mAh battery. The battery life lasts us about a day and a half in light to moderate usage. Then we get half a day with heavier tasks. PCMark's battery bench rated it at 11 hours and 3 minutes, while our standard video loop test got us 17 hours and 23 minutes of playback, which is a good number. The Galaxy A6 Plus is a weird device from Samsung. It's priced at the mid-range segment, but equipped with a budget chipset. Still, it's an elegantly crafted device that has impressive speakers, cameras, and software features. The performance is not that bad, but for the price you're paying for, you'll be left wanting more. And that sums up our review of the Samsung Galaxy A6 Plus. The device is now available in the market for 22,990 pesos. If you like our videos, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is Louie of YugaTech. See you in our next one. Bye!